This is Wildwolf Gaming 99. Welcome back to more Xenoblade Chronicles. The definitive edition. Last time we left off, we just landed in the Fallen Arm and we're out when we got Fiora back in the party. And not much else. Well, no, not much else. We got Fiora back in the party. We got a bunch of we found out more. We found more about the Mechonis and all that's been going on. We still don't have the full picture yet, though.
Bionis and Mechonis.
Oh, it's so different seeing them from this kind of perspective.
We cannot see it from here, but our people are still fighting up there.
It's difficult to believe that two such huge things ever fought each other. I wonder how the Machina felt at the time.
Must have been horrible.
Scary too.
Fear robs us of reason. Out of fear, we commit terrible atrocities and call them acts of self-preservation.
Fear gives rise to more fear. A never-ending circle of hatred.
Perhaps that circle can be broken.
Fear. It must be what's driving this. What's made Egil act this way.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, Fiora's the one going to be getting visions and stuff, if I'm reading the situation right. Yeah, no. Because we're on the Mechonis. We're not on the Bionis anymore. Anyway, welcome to the Mechonis proper. And all the... There's a field on the Bionis leg. This here is Mechonis field. All the stuff that goes on in the leg of the Bionis.
We're inside the Mechonis.
Just how I imagined it. It's all totally mechanical. It ain't gonna be easy getting up this thing.
Egil is at the top.
Yep. So now, we're going to have to go across the Mechonis and deal with all the problem and deal with everything here. And there are quests on the Mechonis, just like there are quests on the Bionis that are timed. They have the same time clock, where once you get past Mechonis core, that's it. And all this, I was letting you guys enjoy the music there for a bit, but we can't do anything here yet. Unfortunately. Because this area needs to be drained before we're able to do anything here. So this is an area where we're going to have to come back. Anyway, the Mechonis, well, what can I say other than it's the Mechonis?
Don't do anything stupid now.
Leave this to me!
Leave this fight to me. I'm feeling pretty good.
Looking good too, Fiora.
If we fight like this, we can't lose.
We're gonna win!
Enemy reinforcements. Just a little more.
I'm really feeling it.
Yay, Soul. Go you. My right double.
We've definitely gotten stronger.
Let's stay focused.
Thug Cord.
The best team ever.
This is the power of the Monado. 1, 2. If we saw it coming. Fiora.
I'm gonna go all out.
Definitely do this.
Double.
Right, let's keep going.
Let's stay focused. What's up, Shulk? Look, it's a switch to activate a lift. If we can get it to work, it should take us up.
Ricky want to ride lift?
We can't. There's no power going to it.
Boring.
What do we do?
Well, if we could find the main power supply...
Okay, people, let's get looking.
Yeah. If we can connect the power to the switch, we should be able to use the lift.
Yep. And this will be basically the entirety of our journey up the Mechonis. It will be us needing to divert power to get switches going. That's it. That's going to be the entire journey. As much as I wish that wasn't the case. And it's going to be tough. And I don't mean easy tough. I mean, it's going to be brutal. Especially considering, context-wise, the next faced Mechon we're gonna fight is going to be somebody from Sharla's history. Atharon's still alive, as is Juju. Which leaves Gatto.
Should be okay if we fight like this.
There's one mossy panel. Still need one more. So to get more of Colony 6 done. Anyway, once Xenoblade is done, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a nice casual... Take a break from games like Xenoblade. Big, long RPGs. Because considering that, I've done a lot of them for the channel. And I'm going to do some games that are more casual. More enjoyable. No massive, long, open-ended games for a little bit.
Don't do anything stupid now. I'm ready. I'm gonna go all out. Double blade.
Considering they can get very... not open-end. But yeah, no. After Xenoblade gets done, I will do projects that aren't this. Or more specifically, aren't games like this. I'll do some more casual-esque games. that aren't so nuts.
Let's get this done and dusted. This should be easy.
Don't get careless, guys.
You're alive.
Less nuts and more long. They're going to be a lot less long and more enjoyable. Just a nice, simple game. Yeah, it's worse than the hurricane shot, but it's one of the few. It's a weapon that can do damage to Mechon, which means it's necessary at this stage. If I want to use characters other than, if I want to have party members that aren't Shulk. I like the guy, but there are lots of other characters who I would like to raise the affinity of while I'm streaming.
Cool. Let's keep this up.
That's something for Fiora. F power frame. Yeah. Fiora's equipment really doesn't leave much to the imagination.
Leave this to me.
No, didn't mean to hit Shulk. Meant to hit Fiora.
Piece of cake.
Huh, that's useful. Aragus arms. Palm's gauntlets forged by a giant blacksmith a long time ago. Alright, what else do I need besides the mossy? I need 2 retro diodes. I have enough for commerce level 4, which is good. That is something for Rhine right there. The Taurus arms. M100 Type 2. Yeah.
Even stronger.
Let's get this done and dusted.
Leave this to me.
Leave this fight to me. Is the power of the Monarch. Gravity zero.
We can definitely do this. Get up.
Thanks. Grab my hand. You're stuck. Okay, nice. These guys. Double blade. Fire. There's no escape. My rifle's getting hotter. That's gotta hurt. Fiora. I'm gonna go all out.
All right, I'm feeling it.
Yo, Shulk. Go you. Fire. I'm feeling pretty good. That's a good sign, Fiora.
Nice job.
Right, let's keep going.
I have no idea how to respond to that. But hi, Bronze. How are you doing? Fair. That's fair.
That's good. If we fight like this, we can't lose. We can definitely do this. There's no escape. Double blade. I'm feeling pretty good.
Looking good too.
How's that? Fiora. That's the spirit. I'm gonna go all out. Short, that's good. Double blade. Let's fire it up. Nice.
Well, at least you're enjoying yourself, I suppose.
Everyone, let's go. We can definitely do this.
If we fight like this, we can't lose. Now we just need to finish. Just a little more. Venting heat.
Fiora, are you hurt?
Tell me you're okay. I'm here too, you know.
Sorry, Sharla.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah. Same. Though I've been more busy with more real life stuff and family than anything else.
Don't do anything stupid now. Leave this fight to me.
Everyone, do your best.
1, 2, cross impact. Gravity 0. Nice. Looks like we're calling it up here. Now we just need to finish the job. Thunder bullet. Fiora.
Ah.
I'm gonna go all out.
Dang. That's sad. That's sad.
If we fight like this, we can't lose. Wonderful to be with everyone. And you too, Fiora. I could really do with a shower right now. Right, let's keep going.
Nice job.
Don't do that. Replacing keyboards tends to be expensive from my experience.
Let's get this done and dusted. This should be easy.
Don't get careless, guys.
Fire!
I kind of miss the armor designs from the previous game. Not from the previous game, from... I miss the armor designs from the original Xenoblade. But I guess that's good. Because some of these stayed the same, but a lot of them changed. Much to my disappointment. The Tauros helm especially. The M100 type gear especially. Because I wish I could figure out how to put up stuff for stream, but basically the old Taurus set, a lot of the old M100 gear used to be a lot bulkier than it is these days. The Orion gear and the Taurus gear used to be a lot bulkier and less awkward looking than it is now. Because the Taurus gear, throw into the fact the Taurus gear used to be green. It used to be... and have a bull-like helmet, which kind of made Rhine more intimidating. No, no, I am not. That's one of the few games that I will not touch. Horror is one of the few game genres I will not touch, considering considering I do not like horror. It's different if I'm doing it with a group, but if I'm playing a horror game on my own, nope, that's not happening. I'm not getting through it. Yeah, I don't care if it's pixel or not. I'm not gonna play horror for the channel. I'm sorry if that disappoints any of you, but I have not had good experience. I don't really get the whole point of horror. Yeah, it's a genre, but again, it's not something that I'm into. You want to do stuff with horror? Do stuff with horror. It's not really my cup of tea. I mean, I'll play survival games and stuff like that, but horror, again, isn't my cup of tea.
Let's get this done and dusted.
Don't get careless, guys.
This should be easy.
Okay, guys. Now we're pulling together.
That's right, Schultz.
We can definitely do this.
We're starting to look like a team. The best team ever. There's no escape. Double blade. That's gotta hurt. Fiora! Fantastic. I'm gonna go all out. We can do it. Let's double blade. Sharp as a nail, Shulk. Way to go, Shulk. My rifle's getting hotter. That was a beauty. I want to try too.
Everyone, let's roll.
Good to go. Nice. Looks like we're calling the shots here. Victory for teamwork.
Let's stay focused.
Right, let's keep going.
Yeah. Sorry about that. But again, it's just not something I'm into. If you like it, that's fine. Have fun with it. But it's just not for me. That's all.
Don't do anything stupid now. Leave this fight to me.
Everyone, do your best.
Gravity's fire! There's no escape. Fire it up.
We can definitely do this.
Looks like we're calling the shots here.
Yeah,
Double blade.
we're gonna win. Battle
One,
slow.
two. Everyone ready for a chain attack? Ready when you are. The next one will hurt even more. Shala! I think we can do it. Fire! Chain attack! My rifle's getting shook. You're next.
Leave it to me. Fiora,
My turn.
I really need to get Fiora's art palette redistributed.
Looks like we're calling the shots here.
yeah.
That was great, guys. Anytime, any place. Double blade.
Alright, it's fine. See you later, man.
That's right, Schultz. Looks like this place is going easy on us.
Piece of cake.
We've definitely gotten stronger.
Do you, who's still in the chat, have any questions about the game so far? But for future plans for the channel, let's see. I don't plan to do Xenoblade 2. I will do Xenoblade 3, however. My main reason for not wanting to do Xenoblade 2 is mostly because the entire level up system is based on gacha mechanics. Not exactly the best thing to base your power system around.
Let's get this done and dusted. This should be easy.
Leave this to me.
Now! Double blade!
All together now.
Right!
We can definitely do
Looks
this.
like just a little more. Keep it up, everyone! Tic-tac would be good now.
Roger. All set. All right. I'm feeling it.
That's gotta hurt. Fiora! I'm gonna go all out. My rifle's getting hotter. Gotta cool off. I know you can.
I will do a recap of what happened in 2 when I start 3. Just so everyone's aware of what has occurred and what's going on.
This is the power of the Monado. The next one will hurt even more.
But I won't play 2 for the channel.
Now! 1, 2, crossing that!
And I won't play 3 immediately after this game.
Victory!
I am very burnt out.
Right, let's keep going.
As fun as it would be to play 3 after this game, I'm pretty sure none of you want to sit through me doing all that. So 3 will come at a later point. You know, 3 will be a project for next year.
I'm ready. Fiora, we're all with you.
I'm
We
feeling
can
pretty
definitely do
good.
this.
Gravity zero!
Fiora.
This is the power of the Monado. Okay, main attack time.
Roger. We can definitely do this.
1, 2, crossing that! Fire! Double blade! Fire! Saw it coming. Fiora!
Or more 3 will be a project for much later down the line.
Nice!
Or later down the line, period. Not much later down the line. Mostly because 3 is the most depressing out of all
If we fight like this,
3 games.
looks like it's no problem. That was almost too easy.
Let's stay focused.
Right, let's keep going.
I really wish 3 wasn't so freaking depressing. But it is. 3 is absurdly depressing. But yeah, no, 3 is very depressing. Very, very depressing.
Press on and on and on.
Piece of cake! We can definitely do this! Fiora, we're all with you, you're not invincible! Monado, enchant!
Zero. This is the power of the Monado. 1, 2, project. Now.
We can definitely do this!
Fire. Double blade. My rifle's getting hotter. Got it. I only need one shot. Good to go. If we fight like this, we can't lose. We can do it. I know we can.
Okay, let's finish this!
Double.
Nice job!
Should be okay if we fight like this.
But yeah, no, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is very depressing. Very, very depressing. It's absurdly depressing.
This isn't going well.
Hang in there. Just a little longer.
And no matter how far you get in the game, 3 is never not depressing. And I don't mean that in a ha-ha way. I mean that in a wow, this game is an inglorious depression fest. Because it started out depressing, and that whole thing never really went away. And that thought of, wow, it's a depressing game, never went away, even as we got further and further in. For 3. It's not Dark Souls, but it's close. It's not Dark Souls, but it's pretty close. It's close as you can get to a Dark Souls experience, to a Souls-like experience, without descending into being a Souls-like experience. And I don't mean that in a good way. I mean that in a every good character dies the moment you interact with them type of way. I'm sorry. It's just... It bums me out. 3 just bums me out playing it. Even thinking about it bums me out. Don't get me wrong, it's got a great story and it's an amazing game. But it bums me out. But the story just... The story bums me out. It bums me out. That's not saying the gameplay isn't bad. The gameplay is fantastic. But the game bums me out. The story bums me out. I really wish that wasn't the case. But the story and the setting just bums me out. I love the game. I do, and I love the characters in it. The story and the setting just bum me out.
There's no escape. That's almost too easy.
Cool. Let's keep this up.
We've definitely gotten stronger.
At the very start of it do, and that's what's currently playing in my mind, is the start of 3, and just how depressing it gets.
Let's get this party started. Fight to me.
Everyone, do your best.
One, two, heal. My rifle's getting hotter. Double blade. Shall we?
Cool. Let's keep this up.
Right, let's keep going.
I just really wish 3 wasn't so depressing. I get it's about growing up and growing old and dying, but to summarize my experience with 3, it very much just descends into... It can be basically summarized, entire world is war. It doesn't matter if you manage to not die during the wars, you still die anyway. I'm sorry. 3 just makes me depressed. I love the characters. I love the story. I just don't... And I kind of like the story. It's just the setting for it all depresses the hell out of me.
Good luck, everyone.
I'm ready. We can definitely do this.
One, two,
Manalo, entrapped.
I'm right beside you. Double blade.
I love the game. I do. I love 3. It's a really good game. It's a really good game. But
My rifle's getting hotter. Double blade. Rip through the air.
gets really depressing really quickly. And I'll talk about it more in length when I eventually play it for the channel. But even just now, I like the game, but just three's got a very Dark Souls-esque story. I like it. It's just got a very Dark Souls-esque story. Let's see. One has kind of a Crusade-esque story, which I don't mind. Which I don't mind. It brings a lot to the table, and it's not. And with characters like Ryan and Ricky, it's not very. It's with Ryan, Ricky, Shulk, the whole cast kind of makes the whole game very light-hearted. It's a crusade, but it's a light-hearted crusade. That doesn't mean they don't talk about tough topics, they don't deal with certain tough situations, but it's just very easily played off by the characters. Yes, they know that it's very tough and brutal and a whole dark world with war, but they're just characters trying to do their best in the situation they can. 2 is kind of similar. There's a big whole energy crisis going on. And there's a war between Uriah and Morardain, which is basically Greece and Rome, essentially. Due to the land slowly disappearing, due to the land being alive and similar circumstances, and slowly dying of old age. Three has none of that. And no matter 3 basically boils down into an eternal war where nobody wins. 3 basically boils down into an eternal civil war that's been going on for hundreds of thousands of years. Where people live, die, fight, and die again. And even if you manage to survive to the point of living through your service, you die anyway. I'm sorry, 3 just makes me depressed. Even talking about 3 makes me depressed. It's... I guess the only way I can describe it is that it's basically a Souls-like. Where every subquest, with every subquest giver, yeah, no, it's the only way I can really describe it. It very much just boils down to very, very depressing. I wish it didn't boil down to that, but it does boil down to that. I will play 3 for the channel, but again, 3 just bums me out. Even when we get into the good parts of the quest, even when we get into the good parts of the storyline, it just kind of cycles back to being very, very depressing. I like the game, but it's very depressing. And it bums me out. Hold on, I'll be right back. I am back. I'm sorry, I had to go to the restroom, but I am back.
Let's get this done and dusted. This should be easy.
Don't get careless, guys.
Let's fire it up.
Where was I?
How high?
Me too, Fiora.
Oh yeah, I was talking about Xenoblade 3, which I will stop talking about until we play that game for the channel.
Guess I gotta try harder.
Anyway,
My rifle's getting hotter.
for when any of you get in, get back, I will apply this statement to you. Are there any any RPGs you remember playing when you remember playing that you really didn't understand as a kid, that you came back to and understand a lot more late and understood a lot more later as you got older?
Looks like this place is going easy on us.
Cool. Let's keep this up.
Right, let's keep going.
Because Xenoblade was that for me. It was my first truly big hulking RPG that I really got into. With the first one, I'm pretty sure I brought up in my Dragon Quest series, my Dragon Quest Monsters and the Dark Prince series being the first RPG I truly experienced was Dragon Quest Monsters Joker. Not the original, the one for the DS. That was my first experience with the RPG format. Not format, the RPG style.
Let's get this done and dusted.
Don't get careless, guys.
This should be easy. Double blade! We're starting to look like a team.
Definitely do
Best
this.
team ever.
You're not invincible. Monado, entrapped.
This is the power of the Monado. Double.
Nice job.
We've definitely gotten stronger. Let's get this
Joker
This should be
was kind of a monster to get of a first RPG. Pun kind of intended. Considering all the bosses were brutal.
I'm gonna go all out. Double blade! Victory for teamwork. Right, let's keep going.
And I don't mean slightly brutal. I mean completely and utterly brutal. Joker was one of the most brutal RPGs was the first RPG I'd played, and was one of the most brutal games I'd ever dealt with at that age. It wasn't easy, especially considering all the bosses in that game. Let me rephrase. All the island bosses were A rank monsters. Period. There were no B rank monsters, there were no C rank monsters. All the monsters in that game tended to be all the island bosses for that game were A rank. Period. Full stop. They were A rank monsters that were complete brutes. And I don't mean that in an easy way. I mean that in a, oh boy, these monsters are brutal, and I got demolished multiple times trying to beat them. Yep, and now we got out of the Bionis leg not Bionis, Mechonis leg region. Yeah, no, I should probably try and see if I can find something for that. I doubt. Nah, I won't be able to do anything for that. Even though I want to, considering I doubt. Not doubt. I know getting getting one of those DS cameras for that game will be really expensive.
Let's stay focused.
We've definitely gotten stronger.
But let's see what other stuff exists. Oh yeah, I now have enough to get housing and commerce levels 3 and 4. And then there's those two. I don't know where to find the Caterpillar Silk or the Hawk's Daylight Spur. And then there's this. The flexible Sula Cell, the steel Sula Cell. I know where to get the Rainbow Slugs, and I don't know where to get the Azure Hollyhock. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing. Having a fantastic day. Anyway, welcome to the Great Battle Scar. This is where the Mechonis lost its limb, if I'm remembering correctly. And there's the last memory piece. So that quest line is done and now just needs to be turned in. Yep, and now we're trekking up to... Oh, we're trekking up the outside of the Mechonis. I'm going to get the two confused from time to time. But yeah, no, that Great Battle Scar is more than likely one of the wounds that Mechonis took from the Monado. Okay, how am I supposed to get there? Because it says I'm here unless I have to go up another level. I probably have to go up another level. Yeah, I most definitely have to go up another level. And then cycle around again.
Whoa! Don't look down. Anyone know where we are? Other than high up.
Maybe somewhere around the thigh?
The thigh? You mean we ain't even halfway there yet?
Stop moaning about it. Look, we can make camp over there. Let's rest for a while.
Fiora, you sure you're feeling okay?
I feel a bit like I haven't got used to this body yet. But please, whatever you do, don't tell Shulk about it. I'm sorry, Dunban.
Don't worry about it. Back when my arm was injured, it was you who took care of me.
I'd almost forgotten. It seems so long ago now.
Thanks, Ryan.
Doing a spot of maintenance?
Yeah. The sighting's been a bit off lately.
You know, Mechon let us have some new parts. I could make you a new rifle if you want.
Thanks. But I want to keep using this one for now.
Shulk, get a clue, man. It's more than just a weapon to her. She can't just throw it away and get a new one.
Yeah. I suppose so.
If she let anything happen to it, I bet she'd get a whack from old Atharon.
Doesn't
Yeah.
my man ever rest?
Not a chance. The lives of everyone in the colony rely on the defense force. Our readiness and our will to keep on fighting.
We never know when the Mechon will strike next.
No. But I won't let anyone else die. If only I had more power.
Stop it! Gaddo, it's not your fault!
We lost 30 men in Fortress 3 alone.
Listen to me. Nobody knew that so many Mechon would come. More people would have died if it wasn't for you.
It's not about reducing casualties. We lost 30 men. And we've lost the fortress. Those men died for nothing.
Would their deaths have meaning if we'd won?
Yes. At least they would have died for something. This is the end now. It's either the Mechon or us. I don't care if I'm the last man standing. I'll take them down!
Hey, Ryan.
What is it?
Do you want to beat the Mechon?
Of course. What are you asking that for?
At any cost? Even if it means giving your own life?
Giving my own life? No way. I can't do anything if I'm dead. I'm gonna take down the Mechon and survive. And there's no way I'm gonna lose Shulk, Fiora, or you along the way. We're all gonna win this and get out alive.
If only we all thought like you.
What do you mean?
It's charming.
What?
Yeah. Ryan has a very different thought
We should get
process
moving.
to
We don't have
Gaddo.
time to hang around.
Ryan, did you rest well?
Yeah, I feel great.
It looks like we're about to re-enter the Mechonis. Brace yourselves.
Got it.
Dun, you okay?
Oh, it's nothing. Just my imagination.
No, no, it isn't. We're dealing with a sniper. An ambush. Hunt. An ambush. A master of the ambush. Oh boy. Yeah, there was something down there. There was something there up at the tippy top. A little hidden alcove. Yeah, I see it now. But we're about to reach the end of Charla's storyline. That's not saying that she doesn't have a story with the rest of the group, but she's about to reach the end of her personal storyline.
I'm not doing too well. No, don't give up.
But yeah, no, I have to... I keep saying that. I don't mean to keep saying that. That with that personality of his. Gatto would be a perfect face unit once you remove his memories. And this is someplace I never got to in the base game.
What do you need?
Me. 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 I feel more powerful.
M100 Greaves and Shulk and Charlotte now have blue affinity. Fiora has a new skill on her skill branch, and so does Melia.
What do you need? What do you need? What do you need?
M100 Greaves. High-spec heavy-duty boots using the latest Mechonis materials. And now there's more stuff. That's really good. Yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff. There was a lot less cool and more unique. There was a lot more unique armor sets in the Xenoblade series, in the original Xenoblade game. Yeah, unique. Unique's the word I'll use. There were a lot more unique weapons and armor in the original Xenoblade game. I'm sorry, they were just really unique. Those armor sets were really unique. Despite the engine, those... I'm sorry, they just... Those older sets were a lot more unique than their current sets. Maybe that's just me who thinks that, but I don't know. Just the old Xenoblade Chronicles armor sets from the original game were a lot more unique. I'm sorry, they were. They were a lot more unique. Maybe that's just me, but they felt a lot more unique than they are now. again, maybe that's just me, but I don't know. The armor sets feel a lot lessened than they used to. They're just not as well put together. I don't mean well put together, I mean less unique. There's
Let's get this done and dusted.
Leave this to me!
This should be easy.
I'm feeling it.
maybe it's just me, but
Nice. Looks like my right is just a matter of time now. Respond and move. No sweat. Fiora, fantastic. I'm gonna go all out.
We can definitely do this.
If we fight like this, sure. It's wonderful to be with everyone.
I won't let you go, Fiora.
This is the last one. Let's fire it up. Gotta cool off.
there's a lot less uniqueness to the armors than there was. Especially Rhine's. Rhine's armor's become a lot more one note than it used to be.
Right, let's keep going.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I am back. Anyway. A lot of the armor sets also used to cover a lot more. And used to be actually armor. Not what they are now.
Let's get this done and dusted. This should be easy.
Leave this to me!
This is the power of the Monado. Double blade! Drain! Now! Nice! Looks like we're calling the shots here. Everyone ready for a chain attack? Ready to go. Gotta cool off. Good to go.
We can definitely do this!
Stronger. Yikes! Fiora! Use your dodge. I'm gonna go all out. Now!
But yeah, no. The armor sets, especially Fiora and Charla's, used to cover a lot more.
We've definitely gotten stronger. Alright, let's do this. Leave this fight to me.
Everyone,
This
do
is
your
the
best!
power of the Monado. I'm feeling pretty good. That's a good sign, Fiora. Grab my hand. Yours, step. Now! We can do it. Double blade! You don't need to tell me. My rifle's getting hotter. Gotta cool off. I know I can. Way to go, Shulk. Sharp as a nail, Shulk. Let's give it our all. Sorry, this is tightly. 1, 2. My rifle's getting hotter. This is the power of the Monado. Good to go. Heal barrier. If you fight like this, you can't lose. One heal bullet coming right up. Gotta cool off. Double blade. Good to go.
We can definitely do this!
Are you okay? I could really do with a shower right now. Right, let's keep going.
Let's stay focused!
But once I get these two areas all once I get these two areas unlocked, I will call the stream to a close, and and we will continue tomorrow. Because unless I'm misremembering, we're going to be facing Jade Face in that arena once we unlock it. And he is a pain in the butt. Again, if I'm remembering properly, it's been over a decade since I've played this game. Not since I played this game, since I played the original. It's been over a decade. But I remember Jade Face being a pain in the butt. Very much not fun, very brutal, total slobber knocker of a boss fight. being smart. Monado purge already, you dum-dum. Why does the AI proceed to be stupid? Oh, so stupid. Seriously, it's ridiculous how stupid the AI is. It doesn't know how to fight with Melia. It doesn't know how to use the Monado properly. Ugh. When fighting spiked enemies. I'm sorry, I'm just frustrated with that. The AI hasn't changed in over a decade. It's still stupid. It doesn't know how to fight with Melia. It doesn't know how to use the Monado properly when not being operated by the party, by the player. I'm sorry, I'm just a bit frustrated. Because Melia's AI hasn't changed since the base game. Melia can't be used by the part can't be used by anybody but the player. Because the AI that controls Melia has no idea what the fuck it's doing. I'm sorry, it doesn't. I wish it did, but it very much doesn't know what the fuck it's doing. Considering it summons but doesn't use its talent art. In order to send out the elements and recycle them with new elements. To better fit the situation. The AI for Melia is garbage. The AI for Shulk is not much better. It knows how to use Buster. It knows how to use Enchant. It doesn't know when to Purge when it fights Mechon enemies that have spikes, though. It doesn't purge them like it's supposed to. I'm sorry. That just frustrates me. The AI just doesn't know what it's doing. It's very aggravating. Very, very aggravating. That the AI has no idea what it's doing. But yeah, no, the AI has no idea what it's doing when it has to face Mechon. I wish it did. It'd make my job easier. But it doesn't. It very much doesn't have. It doesn't have a clue what to do when dealing with Mechon. It knows how to enchant. That's pretty much all it knows how to do, though. It knows to use enchant and buster. That's pretty much all it does, though. Charla's AI is better, but only a little. But only so much that it knows what to do and what not to do. Charla's AI is not dumb. Neither is Ryan's AI. Or Dunban's. The AI just has problems with Melia and Shulk. It has no issues with any other with any other party member's AI, and tends to do pretty well with forementioned AI.
Let's get this done and dusted. This should be easy.
Don't get careless, guys.
Thunderbolt Blade!
Yep. That's a nope. That's a nope. That's gonna be tomorrow. That's gonna be a tomorrow problem. Monday! Monday. We are going to be fighting against the face unit that has... Yeah, no. We're going to be dealing with the face unit that's guarding the homeland, that's guarding the colony the waste of the Mechonis. Otherwise, this is Wild Gaming 89. I will see you all next time.